for all you lovers of Korea, lovers of K-pop and K-culture and dramas and everything like that. The government announced a new Hallyu visa.
Hmm?
Mm. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hallyu Insider, the podcast where we give you the inside scoop on Korea. My name is Mama.
My name is Hannah.
Well, today we have a lot to talk about. We're very excited to have you back. Please make sure to subscribe to our podcast, to follow us. We also have the channel on YouTube, and we also have our dear friend Hannah with her YouTube channel. So make sure to follow both of us. All the instruction will be in the description box. And Hannah, would you like to? Actually, how was your weekend? Let's start with
it
that.
what what did I do?
Oh,
There's something about like winter where all the weekends kind of blend together. But I definitely did something really, really nice. Why can't I remember? So on Friday to celebrate us finishing our English camps, I met up with a bunch of my friends who were also teachers, and we had a really nice dinner. And then we also had lots of alcohol. The
that's how it
stress,
starts.
pretty much. But then, of course, we got kicked out at 9 because
We
curfew.
back to
Yeah.
nine.
It's been 9 for a while now. I think they're keeping it until the 6th of February because of like Seollal, so the Lunar New Year. I think they don't want people like mixing. So they're
Yeah, it makes
keeping,
sense.
yeah, it's smart. I think it's a smart thing to do. And then on Sunday, I was cultured. I went with some friends, actually the same friends from Friday. I don't have that many friends. We went to the Tutankhamun exhibition at the War Memorial in Yongsan.
Oh my God, I love that memorial.
It's a beautiful building. The way it's curated is
Yeah.
lovely. I love all the different sections. I love the Kobukson, like the turtle ship, the big
Mm,
model. It's just,
mm.
I think they've done it so beautifully there, and I don't know, I think it's a very important place to go to if you come to Seoul. But the Tutankhamun exhibition was amazing. They'd done it so well. There were like lots of different sections to it. It was all about the discovery of the tomb and Howard Carter and like how they found it, and they'd recreated the exact setup of all the items and all the all of his goods for the afterlife, and they'd recreated it in each room.
That's
So it
pretty
was
cool.
really, yeah, it was a really stunning exhibition. Although towards the end of it, it was very hot and people were very pushy. So by the end of it, like my friends and I, we were kind of just like, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm
Let's just
hot, I
go.
want to go home. I felt like a child again. And I was like,
Oh.
guys, shall we go? Like, I can see like, oh, why my parents would have been annoyed with me, but it was really good. So I had a wonderful weekend. How was your weekend?
It was a weekend filled with manga and dramas. So I'm
Perfect
watch.
weekend.
Yeah, my favorite. I was split between One Piece, a lot of One Piece, and then I was watching Now We're Breaking Up, and then I started
Ah.
the movie Happy New Year, and and I don't like that movie. I don't like the English title. It's so weird
Oh, why?
because it's not Happy New Year. Happy New Year is the Korean way they wrote it. Happy New
Mm.
Year. But then the
Yeah.
English is like year end medley.
I saw that too, and I was a little
Yeah, I
bit
was just like, why can't you
confused.
just keep Happy New Year? It's just so
It's like
English.
literally English.
I
Also,
mean,
I
yeah,
the word medley just makes me feel uncomfortable. Is it just me? I just really don't like that
that's
word.
that's what bothered me, to be honest. I was just like, are we what? Like, what is that, a year end medley? I mean, I get it from the storyline, but I'm just like, you could have just kept a year end, like Happy New Year. That was just
I
simple like that.
I have always wondered. I guess it's the same thing with translations, subtitles, but there are a few dramas or a lot of like translation cases that I really wonder why they made these choices. Like even what is the one? Love featuring marriage and divorce. That
Yeah.
original title is like 결혼 사 뭐지? I forget what it is, but the English is something like love, marriage composer, divorce
Oh
lyricist or something. So
Lord.
it's a completely different title. I'm like, oh, I
Sometimes it's
wonder.
just they can, especially whenever I don't know. I don't know. I agree with you.
Right? I was just like, okay, I
Makes no
wonder
sense.
why. How, talking about we're breaking up now, is that the one where when we went to Busan, they shot it in that
Yeah,
restaurant?
that's the one.
That vlog of mine will be up soon. So if you guys are
I can't
interested, make sure to check it
wait
out.
to see that. I can't wait.
Finally, it's been way too long,
We'll
but
put the card so you guys can see it. We had a really good time.
an amazing time. I'm really glad that like I was able to vlog it so that we have such a beautiful memory of it.
I know
Like
that's so true.
seeing it, it was really funny and I feel like on the second day we'd gotten a little bit crazy. Or I think the exhaustion, because they did so much, or they showed us so many things and took us so many places, and we got to try so many different things, and it was just the most amazing weekend. But I think by the time we both got home on Sunday, we were
Oh
just like,
my God. I just wanted to take the day off on Monday. I was just like, oh my God, never
genuinely.
again, never again, never again. Like, because and I remember I was saying, like, we should do that every weekend. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe not.
When you said that, I was like,
Yeah, I did
what?
not realize. Yeah, I did not realize it was like that intense. But it's
Mm.
like it's something you should do at least once a month, I'm sure.
Oh,
But at least
definitely.
now we know what to expect and like how we're gonna be tired. And then you know what I mean? Like it's like literally because I mean you guys will see when we get to the you need to watch the video and then it makes no sense to you.
It'll make a lot of sense. So much packed in, genuinely. What a weekend.
Amazing,
Amazing weekend.
amazing. So, would you like to start? I have something very interesting for our listeners and our watchers about visas in Korea. So, I'll keep that for a little bit
Oh,
later. I'll let you start with like some of,
teasing
yeah, a
this.
little tease.
Okay.
But I'll let you start with what's new this week.
I have a few topics to do with celebrities in Korea.
Our favorites.
Um, okay, I have A, B, and C. Which one do you want to start with? A,
Let's
B, or
start with
C?
B.
Oh, this one's kind of like a lighter topic, I guess, to start off on. So B is 10 from EXO just announced that he and his wife are having their second baby.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
thought that was like, oh, that's so lovely to hear, but also it still doesn't make, I don't know, it's still very strange to me to think that like EXO members or an EXO member has a family.
I
It's
know.
just
I get it.
very strange to me considering I started listening to them in high school and they were like almost my age, and it's like very strange. And I was also reminded when I saw this article that Onni and I, my Korean colleague, we were talking about how most of the time when Korean singers or celebrities get married, it is announced at the same time as, oh, we're also having a kid. So there's usually like a factor that they are forced to either get married or they're forced into announcing these wonderful life events at the
That
same
kind of makes
time.
sense.
Right, like you can't really hide a pregnancy as well as you can like just dating someone. So we were like laughing about that, and I was reminded again of, do you remember Kiss?
Yes.
Do you remember the Mangne? I think his name was like Tongo or something. He was really young, possibly, no, he can't have been younger than me, but anyway, very very young. And he also left the group very suddenly because his girlfriend was pregnant. And then I think they got married and then they got the divorce later on, but it was like really making me laugh. And also, as you know, Changmin got married last year,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure Changmin is one of the very few like unproblematic celebrities. Like, they were dating for a long time and now they got married. There have never been like any rumors, there have never been any like strange things happening around him, which I thought was really interesting. So one of the very few unproblematic celebrities. Yeah.
You know,
Congratulations to Chen.
congrats. You know, it's really interesting in what you're saying, and
Hmm.
like to put it in context for those who don't know,
Hmm.
even though Korea is such this amazing country that, you know, we all love for all, you know, all they offer, let's just also remember that Korea is very conservative in many ways, many ways. And this is a perfect example that Hannah gave actually, because yes, you cannot really say, hey, I'm having a baby. And then, wait, are you not married yet?
Mm.
You know, so there's an order to kind of follow within Korean society. And the order is you get married and then you
Hmm.
have the kid. So a lot of the time, like she mentioned, like, you know, the baby pops up before. You know, so then you kind of force like to kind of usually rush the wedding, and then that's when you're like, oh hey, we're having a baby, like, you know, like 3 months later, and you're just like, oh,
Genuinely.
that was why. Okay. Or another thing that people do is they just announce at the same time, oh, we're getting married and we're having a baby,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's what Chen did with the first baby.
Yeah, because to be honest, you know, if anybody, and please comment below if you know of anyone, a celebrity that had like, hey, we're having a baby, and that's it, and they're not married or they're not planning to get married, please let us know. I would love to see that because
Yeah.
I
There
don't think so,
can't be. There
right?
can't be.
So yeah.
Imagine. I just can't even. I can't imagine that. You know, like as a person who like I think it's fine if you don't want to get married and you still have a partner that you want to have a baby with, or if you want to have a baby by yourself, like it's great. But
Being in
even for
Korea,
me in Korea,
yeah,
I'm like, no, really?
yeah, it's so like, I don't know, it's so unnatural, I
Yeah.
would say.
I can't
But
imagine
yeah,
seeing that
okay,
here.
well, you know, we're happy for them.
Exactly. Congratulations to Chen. Lucky he wasn't cancelled, like another person on the internet might be cancelled.
Is that news A or C?
A.
Okay, we'll go for A.
Well, as we all know,
Uh-oh.
there's a certain Netflix dating show that's been very popular recently.
OMG. Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
It sounds very familiar.
Well, well, as we all know and love, Frisia, she I was very confused. I was scrolling through my Instagram and I was looking through her page and I saw that she'd uploaded a handwritten note.
Okay.
And that's always a bad sign. You
She's
know, like in
apologizing for
Korea,
something already.
right, it's
See, I
always
don't
an
even know what's
apology,
going on, but I know the
right?
process.
Exactly. If you see a handwritten note on a Korean celebrity's Instagram page, it's an apology. So I was like, oh, already? So I was trying to read it quickly and I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's like a thanks letter, you know, because she hit like 1 million or almost like 2 million. So I was
Yeah,
like,
she
maybe.
did.
And
She
I was
did.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. So I was like, oh, maybe. But then I was like, no, it's an apology. And so from what I understand, she is being bashed for wearing fake designer goods. On Singles Inferno and other times.
It's like they were not real. Well,
I
okay,
don't
okay,
think
okay.
all of
So
them
that's what she
were.
said. So that's what is being said. What did she say in the apology? That's what I want to know.
So she also was like, I'm really sorry. I was unaware. As a person who wants to start their own clothing brand someday, I'm really sorry. And I can't imagine how, you know, the original designers must feel. I'm sorry to everyone that I hurt. So she
So it's
apologized for the whole
accurate.
thing.
So it's true
So
then.
it's, yeah. So that's what it seems. Um, and then another layer to this that I thought was really interesting, and I'm sure our listeners will find really interesting as well, is the complete contrast between English or foreign comments and Korean comments.
It's always like that.
I was shocked to see the comments though. So most of actually the top Korean comment, it was something like, what was it? Why are all these foreigners or like foreign comments saying that she did nothing wrong. That was like the first comment. And I was like, okay. So that's why I started to scroll more. And I was like, okay, there's a divide in these comments. And the more I scrolled, a lot of like people who are writing in English were saying, oh, well, she apologized, or like it's like she
Not a
shouldn't be
big
cancelled over
deal.
this. Yeah, like it's not so bad, blah, blah, blah. Don't apologize for this, blah, blah. It's the counterfeit good, I can't English anymore. The people who make the counterfeit goods, it's their fault, not yours, etc., etc. Whereas the Korean comments were like, oh my god, how dare she? This is a terrible thing. Like, why are you all saying she did nothing wrong? She should apologize for this. Can you imagine? Blah, blah, blah. So like they were completely split.
So interesting.
Right. So I have a question for our listeners and our viewers, if you're watching our beautiful faces. What do you think? What's your position? For me as well, my first reaction as a foreigner was the same. I was like, I mean, it's bad. And I don't understand why she did it, considering how much money she has, or why she would purchase fakes when she obviously has the means to afford the real things. But for me, it's like, life is short. Move on.
And yeah, at the end of the day, this is not the biggest like issue in the world. Number one.
Right.
Number two, what I'm really curious about, and then now I just answered my question as I was thinking about it, because I was thinking, well, okay, usually Korean, and that's the thing, Korean TV show usually they blur, not they
True.
blur any type of like branding because obviously they don't want any issues of. But then the show was on Netflix, which is a different thing. That's what it was. So that's number two, and then what I'm thinking is, how did people get to find that out? So is it because, people did research and tried to reach out to those brands that she was wearing and try to figure out, oh, or did you sponsor Gia or something?
Mm.
Or is it somebody from her inner circle? Because like, to be honest, how are you gonna know that? You know what I mean? Because it's just like a top,
Mm.
like a bag. Like they did not like, there's no zoom on her bags where we can be like, oh, that detail is
Mm.
not good, so this must be a fake. You know what I mean? So there has to be like
Mm.
some kind of inside, info. You're so funny.
This is a conspiracy.
I mean, but it's
You
interesting.
Mulder, you.
I know, right? But it's so interesting to see I love to see that contrast foreigner
Mm.
Koreans, because
Mm.
it really shows like the difference in terms of like culture and society and how we, you know, react to things. So for me, yeah, I would have been like the same thing. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for apologizing. But
Mm.
I would have moved on. But I can also understand from the Korean point of view, because Koreans Koreans are very big with like high luxury, high end, like
Mm.
branding.
So true. So true.
So for them, must be like an insult to be like, how dare you, like, some of us like are really trying, like, maybe people are looking up to her and be like, oh, this is such a great like design, I'm gonna buy it, but actually
Mm.
it's a fake, like, you didn't even buy like the original product. Do you see what I mean?
So I see where you're coming from, and I can
Mm,
definitely see why that would be a Korean perspective. But two things. Firstly, as a person who definitely can't afford designer goods, I would love to be able to get something that look as close as possible to the original while not scamming anyone. So personally, like I will never be able to afford like high-end luxury goods. So to see something like more attainable would be attractive to me. And secondly, since obviously these knockoffs were so well done that it took this long for people to realize, or for this insider to tip everyone off, hashtag conspiracy, then would you not think that in contrast, all this publicity is so good for these brands?
it is. If I
Right? So
was a
like
brand,
no one lost. Who lost?
I know.
Literally, who lost out on this? There are now tons of articles about Free Gia, who has millions of subscribers, talking about these specific brands. People are going to go and search up the difference between the real and the original. They're going to be talking about this. She was literally broadcasting their designs on a platform with
He
a reach of
was.
millions. I just, I don't know. I feel like people are very nitpicky online, and they tend to just blow things out of proportion very often.
Because to be honest, if I was like, I know for sure, like we all know, like definitely
Mm.
bunch of Chanel was in there,
Oh
and I
yeah,
do
I've been
think
looking at
Prada.
Chanel more now.
You see, and I think Prada was in there. I'm not sure, but
Mm.
100% I know Chanel was in there.
Oh
So,
yeah.
um, like you
She
said,
might
like
as well have put a C on her face. Like that's how much Chanel she was wearing.
you see what I mean? And then to be honest, if I think about it, like
Mm.
you know, for example, I know like like Chinese are crazy about Chanel, right? So think about it. You know, you're watching Netflix, you see Gia, and then you be like, oh man, what is like you know, she had like that bag that had two level. She had two mini bags. Do you see what I'm talking
Mm.
about? So maybe somebody never seen that before and they'd be like, oh my God, let me look for it. Do you know what I mean? And then start buying. So what I would like to know actually from
Mm.
this brand, did they get any increase of sales from that?
Oh,
That would be interesting to find out.
that really would be. I mean, they must have. They
They must
must
have. I
have.
think they must have to be honest. But then I would give her like, you know, I would make her an ambassador or something to be okay. That's not maybe not. That's not the best example, but we could do a partnership with her or something because at
I
the end of the day, obviously she
yeah.
loves the brand. She's wearing it. I
Yeah,
mean, the knockoff.
genuinely. Wow. Oh. I mean, I was watching her house tour. Yes, a little bit obsessed. No, I'm joking. But I was watching it, and she even has like Chanel interior design. You know what I
So
mean? So
I saw.
yeah, so she obviously really likes the brand, and she's been supporting it or buying it for ages now. So I don't I don't know. I just find it so fascinating that this is such a big issue, and also this idea of, I think it's a very Korean thing. I haven't seen it anywhere else really, of writing apologies.
Oh yeah, written apology, like handwritten apology. Yeah.
As soon as you see that, you're like, oh, they done fucked up. You know,
Yeah,
you're like, what's this now?
yeah, because it's like the you know the usual process. You're like, oh,
Mm,
somebody did something wrong.
exactly, exactly. It's I've seen so many in my career as a K-pop enjoyer, listener. It's so funny, so funny. Well, talking about K-pop and fuck ups.
More?
In well, this is my last piece of news, and then we'll move on to the your visa news that you teased.
Oh my
This
God.
one, this one, I don't know how I feel about this. We've talked about this before.
Oh,
I so I saw. I actually didn't know this, but apparently TOP from Big Bang is very active on social media. I didn't know this. I knew he used to be, but I didn't know that he was now.
dang.
Yeah, right. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, but I still read the article. And he uploaded a picture in which he had deliberately cropped and photoshopped Singni out of. So just the four members of Big Bang, with the caption something like hashtag I love my band.
Okay. Okay.
Let that sink in a little bit.
Yeah, let me see. Like I'm having a bunch of emotions right now. Let me gather and like let
You
me
right,
put
right?
them together.
Process? Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So go first and then I'll go.
So, as you have just demonstrated, this kind of stimulates a lot of different emotions. So the first one I was a little bit gobsmacked. I don't know. I was very shocked. And then my mind kind of like whirled through different thoughts and emotions, and it was mostly, oh, he's still on social media. Oh, I thought he'd been like so cancelled by everyone. Secondly, wow, he really went out of his way to distance himself to, you know, from like Singli, which is good. Thirdly, as we've previously discussed, I still feel uncomfortable just thinking about how close, even if they had a professional working relationship, the Big Bang members were parts of each other's lives for years and years and years. And to me, I can't blame them for anything because I have no information on this, but just the idea that they didn't know anything that Seungri was doing feels very fishy to me. And there are clips where they seem to know that he's involved in something shady. They've been public about this. So that just always makes me uncomfortable with the whole of Big Bang. Fourth, people were speculating that this signified a comeback for a four-membered Big Bang. And I was talking about this with my friends on Friday as well. And one of them was like, oh my gosh, imagine if Big Bang came back with new music. And I was like, no, they better not. I'm so sorry, but I think Big Bang is done. Okay, so I just kind of unloaded on you. Let me know what you think.
Okay, first, number one, I big time, like, oh, he's on social media.
Right.
Okay. I would like, obviously I didn't pay attention. And to be honest, you and I, like, we're we're not like the newbies K-pop. Like, we know about K-pop for a while already. So yeah. Uh I think I would have known, but I guess I didn't pay attention, or I didn't care at this point. So, okay. Number two, I'm just like, okay, why do you have to take those measures? Why do you need to like, was it necessary for you to post a picture and crop him out of it? Like, what what are you trying to say? And that's when,
What's your
like,
goal?
yeah, what's your goal? And then, like, is it a comeback then? Like, you guys like are teasing something that's coming up? I don't know. And then that's gonna be very tricky. Okay, let's assume they have a comeback. Well, you have people like us. We know all the history of Big Bang, right? But all these new people who new to K-pop, they don't know. So I can totally see that be like not an issue. Do you see what I mean? Until people like, if let's say you're like this new generation that just discovered K-pop because of BTS. At the beginning, yeah, you're probably gonna get into it, but like, until you hear other K-pop fan talking about it, you're not gonna know about it. Do you see what I mean? But I think they shouldn't do a comeback.
You heard it here first. I totally agree. I
think
would be
it's
so
better to be quiet.
angry.
Be
I
quiet.
think so.
Be quiet. There's gonna be too much controversy. Is it worth it? Because sometimes they say it's good, like bad controversy is like good for business, but in this case, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's every single member, like, almost like it's like.
People say that all the time, though, don't they? That like literally Taeyang is the only like clean member. So I wonder what he did.
And then
I wonder what he did.
I am with you. I do not believe that they didn't know. Please, like, they were
They
probably
might not
like
have.
brothers. They didn't know everything, but like, if I hang out with you like 24/7 for years, I'm gonna know what kind of person you are. I'm gonna know, okay, you're capable of doing this, or you're not capable of doing that, or okay, you had some species stuff going on, but I kind of like play like, dumb. But you would know. They know. Now that's another thing, like, how much did they know? That's another thing. You know what I mean? But they know him. Do you know what I mean? So
That is my issue with the rest of them. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll maybe we'll link it, or maybe you guys already know about this. I don't know, Fama, if you've seen it, but there's this one clip I remember watching from Radio Star, which already like has many problems. But anyway, they were on it, and Top was pretty much like exposing Seungri in a sense. He was saying like, oh, I know that he's involved with some really terrible people, and I wish that he would stop. He actually said this on like public. So I can't, I don't know, I don't want to get sued, but obviously we'll never know unless it goes to court how much they knew. But I'm suspicious, or I have a feeling that they must have known at least some of what was going on, and that just makes me very uncomfortable. And I also think it's an interesting point you made about the fans. I wonder if the people that would actually listen to a Big Bang comeback would be older fans, because they're the people who have that nostalgia. I think so. There are a lot of people who still support Big Bang. So I think it would be fans who don't think it's a really bad thing what Seungri did, or who don't care enough, or who are just so invested in like Big Bang apart, like the music separate from the members. I think that for newer fans, they will hear about Big Bang, but the only recent thing that happened to Big Bang is Seungni. So I think newer fans would see this news first. If you get what I mean, like it's still in the headline. So I think that it would be older fans that miss the old Big Bang. So even for me, I can't listen to Big Bang anymore. It just, I can listen to a few songs if I really, really, I'm like, oh, I really miss this. I'll listen to this one song. Oh, this is my high school song. But it just, I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it.
No.
Listening to his voice or thinking that my views or my, listens will give him any money. I just don't want to support that in any way. So if they had a comeback, I think it'd just be so disrespectful. Like, move on. It's not worth it. Move on. You making some money, it's not worth it.
Guys, let us know what you think about this. Like, I would like to know what people think. Do you want a Big Bang comeback? Do you know about Big Bang? Don't you know? Do you think? What do you think about this post on social media? Let us know.
Please let me know, because I feel like I've gone on a big rant about this. As you can see, I have a lot of feelings, so
You
I
do.
would
You
love to
do.
hear. It makes me so angry. So I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. I'm so angry.
Oh my God.
Okay, if Fama finishes off with some interesting news that you teased at the beginning.
Oh yeah. So first, something very quick. I don't know if you heard about the lineup for Coachella has
No.
been announced, and we only have this year one Korean act. Only one.
Strange.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Who do you think that
Who
is?
is it? BTS? Blackpink? Huh? Wait. Who's popular abroad nowadays?
Hmm.
NCT?
No, not really K-pop related.
Epic High?
Yeah.
They've gone before.
Yeah. They come before. They actually, like, I think it's the third time almost that they get invited. And
Mm.
I mean, so now there's this like not controversy, but people are talking about like, well, why there are no like, like, well,
Mm.
that's interesting to me too. I would have thought they would have at least brought like one K-pop band, but they didn't this year.
That is really
So,
interesting.
but also the lineup can be extended. So,
True. True.
so that was that. And then
Mm.
for all you lovers of Korea, lovers of K-pop and K-culture and dramas and everything like that, keep yeah,
Me.
that's not gonna apply to you, sorry. The government announced a new Hallyu visa. Mm. So it's for people interested in learning more about the Korean culture, entertainer, creators. Yeah.
Wow,
So
the Korean government is on it.
if they still on it, so this is amazing. So I think you can get like 3 months, and that can be extended too.
Ah,
And they're gonna give more information during the first quarter of 2022, but it's announced, so it's
wow.
gonna be implemented. So before, I mean, I wonder what's going to be tied to that. That's my interest, actually. I'm wondering if they're going to have a full-on program or, activities that can be done through the
Yeah.
visa. I mean, it's actually pretty big. So, I don't know, like if you're probably, so many people want to be K-pop
Yeah.
idols. So I'm guessing like a lot of people are going to
Mm.
come and try to audition and stuff like that. So does it mean that you can come and work maybe for a limited period of time on that visa? Do you see what I mean? There's so many questions now because of that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to have the answer, but you know more than I do. So, is it not similar to, what is it? What am I thinking of? Is it, what
I
am I
think
thinking?
it's,
E4?
yeah, it's a little bit
E6?
different because if like it's a whole process. You have to get hired
Mm,
by a entertainment
right.
company, or you
It's a
have to
sponsored visa, right?
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
sponsored visa. This is completely different. This is
Oh,
you wanting
wow.
to, and I don't know what are the requirements yet, but it's you basically. The way they say it is like for people interested in Korean culture, which says a lot
Mm.
right there. So that means like you don't necessarily need to have any specific requirement. You can just be like, oh, maybe I'm a dancer. I want to come to Korea, or maybe I'm a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. You know what I mean?
Mm,
That's it.
that's
Because
very
it's literally
interesting.
Korean culture related. So it can be anything. It could be webtoons. It could be gaming. It could be movies. It could be drama, music. It goes on and on.
That's so fascinating. I guess that for a lot of people who'd want to come to Korea, let's say on a tourist visa, that's only what, 90 days, but
Yes,
you obviously can't work on a tourist visa. So a lot of people would use that to come and do whatever they need to do, but legally they
exactly.
can't.
Do much.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. And yeah, there's so much to be done in the Korean culture, like the whole Hallyu thing. So,
Mm.
you know, you heard it first on Hallyu Insider. We got you guys. We got you.
Yeah, how
So yeah, that's
exciting.
excited. Like I wish like at that time if I wanted to, but I was fine with my Sogang University.
Oh, sogan.
Ah,
Oh,
that's it. We should do, oh my God, when I come back, maybe during the spring we should do a tour at Sogang and like
that,
do a like,
yeah, that's
this
been an
is where we
idea of
were. This is
mine
where
for
Dean
ages. I wanted
performed.
to, yeah. I was thinking like ages ago, I wanted to get into contact with our teachers or at least like the department and say like, hey, would you mind talking or being on camera just to answer people's questions? I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
so
people are so interested,
true.
right? We could do a mini
But
tour.
I'm wondering,
Like,
can they do that?
why not?
uh, like think about like they are affiliated to the like to kind of like public, and like I don't know like how much
Mm,
can they be
that is true.
knowing Korea, like
That is true.
you
That is
probably
true.
need like an
Lots of laws.
like a waiver, like authorization to do this and that, and then
So
I
true.
mean
So
it's
true.
just a thought. But or maybe if they're already like done retired or something.
They're so young.
I know, right? Maybe they moved to
Retired.
something else. I know.
Yeah,
Oh no.
maybe. Maybe.
Maybe she got
Well,
married, our favorite teacher.
that would be so nice to think.
She was so fun.
She was amazing.
So
I
I
think
think
we
that was
should
pretty good.
we should finish here before we start reminiscing for hours and days and months about Sogang
Yeah, that's why I was trying
University.
to cut it because I was just like, oh, this is gonna go for another hour. Easy.
Yep. Yep. Once we start, we can't be stopped.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy all the news we shared with you today. Please let us know in the comments everything you thought from, here to Big Bang to to the new visa, Coachella. What else did we talk about again?
Chen and his new
And
baby.
then yeah, we talked about getting babies, getting married, getting babies. Let us know your thoughts.
It's like the
And
circle of
I
life.
know, right? And then that's about it. I think I'm all set. Do you have anything you want to add, Hannah?
It snowed today. We should just finish on this really happy news. It snowed today and it was
Ah,
beautiful. So much snow though. So I was chilling in my office taking pictures and videos and then the vice principal came in and he was like, what are you doing? Like, oh my god, are you on a call? I was like, no, I'm just taking pictures to send to my mom, of course, hashtag cool. And I was like, oh my god, the snow is so pretty. And he was like, you didn't know it was gonna snow? And I was like, no. He's like, Hannah, it's supposed to snow a lot today. Like everyone knows it's supposed to snow today. And I was like, I didn't know.
now you
I
do.
didn't know. Genuinely, like the snow was at least this thick when we like walked in it, and like the one of the maintenance people had to like they used like a blower, kind of like a leaf blower, I think, to clear the path. But as soon as he moved wherever he just blowed it, like the
Yeah.
snow lay again.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
It was amazing. If you guys are curious, you should follow my Instagram because I always post stories about the snow.
and more, and yeah, and more.
And more, but that's the content people really want to see. I
That's
know.
true. That's true. I'm totally. You know what? I'm going to right there to your Instagram to check it.
See. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm done now, I promise.
Okay, guys, don't forget to um subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next week on Thursday for a new
Definitely.
podcast.
Yes, and make sure to share it with your friends so we can all discuss together. Very
Yes,
important.
that's the
The more the
goal.
merrier.
The more the merrier.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Gracias.